Hello and welcome to another Katie B Crafts video. I'm Katie B. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm really excited for our project today. I am switching gears this week. I figured I'd done 2 sculptures in a row. It was about time for a different medium. So I decided to dust off the watercolors and do a little fan art. Recently I've been watching the show Star Trek Lower Decks. If you are a Trekkie or a Star Trek fan, you know you want to check that out. So we're just going to paint some of the characters from Star Trek Lower Decks today. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Let's get into it. All right, so I'm actually going to do 2 pieces today. One is a group shot of the 4 main characters, and the other will be just a portrait of one of the side characters who I feel has the most personality. I skip over a lot of the footage of the actual pencil drawing part just because it's really hard to see. But then I come in with my fine liner and start going over those lines. I would like to highlight my first mistake of the video. I should get a special sound effect for that. But I'm actually using a water-based fine liner pen here. So the moment I come in here with my watercolors, well, exactly what you think would happen happens. So halfway through this first painting, I switch from watercolor to acrylic. You can see the smudging around some of those lines as I get closer to the characters. I'm trying to clean that up a little bit because it turns all smudgy. But once I am done with the background, here I go. I come back in with acrylic paints. But the next one is all watercolor because I didn't use that same pen. I need to get more non-water soluble fine liners. All I had was a Sharpie. But turns out just fine. So this show, Star Trek Lower Decks, one of the greatest things about this show is that the crew, and the ship is called the Cerritos, the crew is not the most elite / talented crew in Starfleet. Usually the Star Trek shows will center on a ship that is at the top of their game, and they're the most talented, they're the best and the brightest of Starfleet, which is great. I love that. the Cerritos and Star Trek Lower Decks gives us the opportunity to see what, a less well-performing ship in the fleet might look like. So our characters have a lot of flaws and a lot of personality and get into a lot of crazy shenanigans. And then there's just a bunch of inside jokes for Star Trek fans. These 4, they're all ensign level, and they're in their various divisions. We have Tendi here, who's a medical officer. Rutherford is an engineer. Then we have Boimler and Mariner, who are in the command division. And they're a good time. So here I'm coming in with a little bit extra, as always. I didn't draw feet for anybody. So I was like, I need a way to emphasize maybe that they're all standing in fog or something, and that's why they don't have feet. So random swirls and an excuse to use metallic paints. Because I have the acrylics out, I might as well take advantage of the metallic paints. So here we have our crew. Faces are hard, but I was pretty happy with how that came out. I'm really excited though to share this next piece with you. I think of this character as the answer to the question, what if a feral cat was a Starfleet medical officer? And that would be Dr. Ta'ana. So, Dr. Ta'ana's great. She's always in a bad mood. She's always clawing at things and generally reacting in a very cat-like way, which I am a big fan of. With this one, I spent a little more time showing you the pencil drawing because it's a little easier to see with a much bigger portrait rather than the group shot. All right, and I'm done with the pencil. Now for the fun part. And again, you can see I switched to a Sharpie so that I wouldn't get that bleeding that I got with the first fine liner pen. I always love watching back the line art. When you increase the speed, suddenly it looks like I made every mark without even thinking about it. I just put it down on the page. Clearing out some of those pencil marks and getting ready to come in with the paint. With watercolor, I tend to start with very, very light washes of the color and then layer in the shadows. I come in with some blue paint on the wrong spot and I have to blob that out, which is just fine because that part of the uniform is black anyway, so I'll cover it up easily. Adding some dark bags under her eyes. She's always on the go. There's always some medical emergency. Doing a nice pale blue for her medical jacket. And I got most of my base colors down at this point. Those Dr. Ta'ana eyebrows, they are fierce and they will convey but a single emotional state. I love Dr. Ta'ana. Alright, so I turned this to the side so I can work on the background. I chose purple because I thought it would go well with like the oranges of Dr. Ta'ana and the blues in her coat and uniform. And now I'm coming in with some darker colors on her face and deciding where I want those dark shadows to live. I try to keep the majority of the darker oranges to the shadows, leaving that top right side of the face as the lighter color. And I come back in to make sure those bags are nice and defined under her eyes. And then grab my Sharpie again just to make sure those lines are nice and crisp. So satisfying. All right, and the slow peel. Compose yourself. And there you have it. We have our two fan art paintings, starting with this group portrait and our Dr. Ta'ana. I am so happy with how these came out. I am such a fan of this show. I'm really excited to have some new fan art pieces to hang in my house. I had a lot of fun with this project, but I just wanted to take a moment and say thank you so much for joining me. If you have any suggestions or ideas for future projects, please make sure to let me know. I would love to hear them. I have an idea for a fabric painted project that I'm probably going to get started on this week. And then after that, we are circling back to clay. I have a new type of cosplay that I am really excited to try. I'm having a lot of fun. I hope you join me for the ride. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, I'm Katie B. This is Katie B Crafts. Have a good one. Hi. Here we go. This done. So